Hey everybody, Galen here, and welcome to All the Mods 10. Now, I did scope out this world a little bit before I went seed hunting for a while. Spent a couple hours last night trying to find a good seed for this. This one, after a little bit of exploration, looks pretty good. I did start it fresh, so I'm kind of the little bit I did explore. I'm coming from lost all my maps. So we're going to see what we can get up to. It was nice enough to start me facing this little block here. So I'm going to come up to the top of the hill here and see what's what. I do have commands turned on just in case it's a mod pack. I always have commands turned on. Um, do not intend to use them. I did also give me the bonus chest, a little bit cheaty. And we finished our first few quests. It does have a pretty extensive quest log. Not going to get into that just yet, but it has a little bit of everything. And some of these give you experience, which is definitely handy when you need it. Out here. Building tips. This actually covers a bunch of different mods. Chipped, dome on that one. Rechiseled, different furniture mods, Ars lights, things like that. So this gives you different tips and tricks and ways to build, which is going to be great for me because part of this series is an opportunity for me to learn how to build just a bit better. Covers tools, covers different tech, different magic, power, which is very important in a mod pack like this. So it's a pretty extensive quest log. Very, very good. The goal in this mod pack is to create the all the mods star and eventually get these creative items. My goal for this series is going to be I want to complete this page of the quest log. I want to complete the creative page of the quest log completely, which is going to involve delving into just about every mod in the pack. If not every mod in the pack. I think there's a few that aren't really necessary for that. But it's going to require automation. It's going to require time. It's going to require space. I did find a place in my initial scouting of this seed that I think I might set up my permanent home base. But we're going to start with a little starter locale first because it's a little dangerous over there. But that is, where'd it go? Right over there in that Archwood forest. And I do intend to be getting into ours fairly early on, which is going to be super handy. But in the meantime, we're going to kick around and explore a bit. See if we can find some chests. See if we can find some ways to get going early on these mods. Uh-huh. Huh. And this mod pack does also have crafting table on a stick, which is extremely handy. I actually set that to a keybind. And I know I have it set. There it is. Okay, so yeah, I have that set to a keybind, and that's super, super handy. If you're playing this mod pack, definitely recommend setting it to a keybind. I spent a good 10 minutes before I started recording just sitting there getting all my different keybinds correct. So very, very important. Now I do also have a 12-button mouse, which helps quite a bit. And I do believe I'm ready for an adventure. Now, very, very early goal. I need leather and I need string. String isn't too bad if I can come across some flax. And leather isn't too bad if I come across some horses or cows. Let's see. And the reason I need those is I need a backpack. Sophisticated storage is in this, and sophisticated backpacks is in this. Both amazing mods that you are going to see me use time and time again. Not so much the chests as much, but I do spend a fair amount of time in a boat before I get a jetpack, so I may put a decent chest on a boat. And definitely the barrels. Super, super handy. Well, right there is a keybind that I need to fix. Now, if you ever need to change your keybinds and you know what the keybind is that you need to change as far as what key it is, you can just click key and then punch it in. As you can see, it's not perfect. Anything with an F in it is going to pop up. But this is the one I want to get rid of. Swap item with offhand. I never do that. And I have that for my Ultimine, which is probably the single greatest mod in this pack. We're going to get ourselves a boat. And we are off and adventuring. So I'm going to kick around for a while. I'm going to record and maybe time lapse this. And basically just do some adventuring, get myself a backpack, hit some villages, and we will be back if anything interesting happens. I hit the first village and I'm not even 3 or 4 buildings in, and I got a couple of very, very good things. Infinite ham. Now this is the relics mod. The relics mod is a very good mod to get into. It's not quite necessary for finishing this mod pack, but there is some super handy things in it. This being one of them. Early game, infinite ham, cannot beat it. Basically, it regrows its ham and gives you endless ham. Now the relics mod, a lot of them you have to like identify them, so you have to kind of figure out this puzzle, and all of them are different. And there you go. So once you solve the puzzle, it'll unlock an ability, and then that ability, like this one, every 23.2 seconds regenerates up to 6 edible chunks, each restoring 2 hunger points. Now, you can re-roll these for experience. You can also find them with a different roll on them. So I could find one that potentially has higher or a lower time to recharge or more hunger points. And then these also level up. As I use this, it's going to gain experience, and then I can use that to level up the skill. Hit 5, I get another ability to it. Hit 10, I get another ability to it. So the more you use these, the better, the more experience that they build up. Now, leveling these requires relic experience and player experience, so you're going to need both, which with the quest lines is not too terribly bad. You get player experience fairly easily. But this is an amazing find. Found a couple other little things. Cowboy hat, which is good if you have a horse or any kind of pet. Novelty drinking hat, which I don't really use this one that much. I'm also not sure how to do this particular puzzle. Well, I'll figure that one out later. You can also use hints. That's the thing I didn't mention there. When you're in here, if you have player experience, you can actually click this little button here, and it will kind of fill in gaps for you. And so for ones you don't really know, if you have enough player levels, you can just kind of hint your way through it, and it'll actually complete it for you. But very good mod, very good thing to find. I've also already found some redstone, some lapis. So I'm off to a good start. Like I said, I'm only 3 or 4 buildings in the first village in, so it's going well so far. Now this here is Applied Energistics. This is the storage mod that kind of comes packed in as far as tech storage, kind of. Disk drives, item manipulation, auto crafting, things like that. These, when you dig into them, now I can't because I don't have an iron pick. I guess I could make one, but when you dig into these, you get presses that will allow you to make circuits for Applied Energistics. And I do intend to be delving into that fairly soon. As soon as I have power set up, basically, I want to start getting into that, but not yet. What I think I am going to do is I think I'm going to take one of these supply camp items that I found, which is from the Mine Colonies mod, and just set up a little supply camp to live at for the time being. I don't intend to mess with Mine Colonies too much, at least not on my recordings. It's kind of boring to watch. It's interesting. It's a good mod. It is rather boring to watch. So we'll show you a few things, but all in all, not the most entertaining. But these, you find them all over the place, and essentially what it does is it just gives you like a free camp, sort of. So you can select a style. When you go in, there's Byzantine, Shogun, Nile. These are your standard Mine Colony ones, which come in various flavors of wood. This one, Caledonia, is it requires a lot of different types of materials, if I remember correctly. Fortress is a somewhat of a difficult one because everything has to go in specific places. So if you're not familiar with the mod, not really a good one to start with. I haven't really mastered the cavern mods, but I believe that to be very much like the fortress ones, where like you select a spot and it all links together in a certain way. So I haven't really messed with that too much. I have done a big pagoda build in a cherry blossom biome in all the mods 9, and that one was nice. And there we go. I decided to switch from the other one just because that one seemed a little bit difficult to place. But as you can see, this comes pretty well put together. Beds, crafting stations, furnace. This one has a lectern, which probably has instructions. Logs. Crystals seem to be able to be built. Could be used to power specific buildings. We will harness this power. We will use it to prosper. Okay, so not instructions, just rambling. But still, very nice mod. Now I have a little home base here. And comes with some supplies, some wood. tools. And then this is for a town hall if you intend to go further and build an actual city. Again, I may mess with it, but I'm probably not going to record most of my messing with it. And then this build tool is used for, it says structurize, which is odd to me, but it's actually used for controlling buildings in different ways. And now that we have a little home base set up, I think it's about time to kind of talk about the plan for this series. Obviously, I did mention that my intent was to reach the creative items. As you can see, I've already unlocked quite a bit of things just from exploring, picking up items, things like that. But my intent is I want to get better at building. So I'd like to build a mix of above ground, below ground. And to do that, I'm thinking I want to have different compartments for different types of mods. So we're going to separate kind of tech from magic and then have a bit of an in-between area. Someplace that has a mix of the two. Kind of a central hub, if you will. And like I said, I found a spot for that, but we're going to start off with a little starter base. And I think we're going to start off by probably getting into some of the magic mods if we can. Probably Ars Nouveau or Irons. Just to kind of get going. They're good mods to start with. They're not terribly difficult to get into. The items that you need to get started in them are fairly easy to get. But I do also want to early on get into a little bit of silent gear, which is, to be fair, a bit useless towards the very end, just because in this mod pack there is so many better options. But early on, it's a great way to get access to diamond tier picks, even netherite tier picks, depending on how you go about it. And the tools don't break. You have repair kits that you can make, and I'll go through all of that when I kind of get involved in it. But it's a good mod. It's a good early on mod. So I'm looking at starting that. I'm looking at starting ours. And probably the first tech mod we'll get into is going to be mechanism, just because we can about triple our ore output fairly easily. It's not a difficult mod to get moving on. So we'll see how that goes, but that's going to require some mining. A lot of these are going to require some mining. But all in all, I think it's a very good start. And I don't know. I have high hopes for this. There's a few of these mods that I haven't really had a chance to mess with, and I'm hoping to kind of learn a couple of things. There's a few structures I'd like to find, Arcane Library being one of them, but I definitely have a lot to do, a ton to do. So more content to come. Not sure exactly what direction things will take me, but you can guarantee there's going to be adventures. And on that note, I think I have pretty much gotten myself in a place where I want to be. At least temporarily. Got more adventuring to do, which I think we'll do in the next episode. And in the next episode, I think we'll also get diving into a couple of the mods that we're going to be messing with. Maybe create, not sure. Maybe mechanism, maybe ours. We shall see. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.